Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Mike and Mike Show. I'm Mike, and this is...
I'm Mike.
Yeah, he's back with me today.
Yay.
We're going to do this video on AEW Dynamite from last night, which was a fantastic show.
Banger.
I mean, it was a banger of a show. I'm glad we decided to watch it and do this review of it.
I'd rather do it anyways.
Right. Now, the show started off with a banger, as it always does. It was Orange Cassidy defending the International Heavyweight Championship against Bandito.
Arriba!
This match was incredible. There was high spots, there was low spots, there was comedy spots, there was any kind of spot you could possibly think of except for a botch because Bianca Belair was not in the match. But anyways, it was an incredible match, and it was a great way to start off the show. I was highly impressed with the way Cassidy and Bandito were able to work together.
They blended.
They blended so well. It was an incredible match. Incredible match. So then after that match, which make a note of this, the show did not start with a promo, a 15-minute promo. That's only WWE that does that. Even when AEW starts their show off with a promo, it's only a 5 to 8 minute promo.
It ain't long.
It is not long at all, even if 5 minutes long. All right. Now, the second thing that happened after that match, we went to the back where we had a promo with Adam Cole, who was saying that he was going to call out Chris Jericho and confront him over what happened last week with him and Britt Baker and the Outcasts. So you had that coming up later on the show, which I was really excited to see what was going to go on there. I was hoping it was going to lead into a match, which it still might do so. So then we go, of course, to our first commercial break of the show. Then
But it's picture-in-picture and it's restaurant quality.
Yes, restaurant quality, picture-in-picture, as good old JR always says.
JR's my favorite.
Yeah. JR is awesome.
Always been my favorite.
JR is awesome.
Him and Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, Mr. Schiavone.
Oh, here's some trivia for you.
Okay.
Okay. My uncle, not my uncle, my cousin, husband, went to school with Tony Schiavone. And Tony Schiavone is from, I can't remember the name of Virginia, but Schiavone is from Virginia, so.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Schiavone is a Virginia guy.
Virginia is for lovers.
Virginia is for lovers. That's what they say. That's what they say. Okay. So then, after the commercial break, we come back and we have a promo between Jungle Boy and Darby Allin talking about the fact that Jungle Boy got cheated out of his match last week in the so-called tournament to determine who was going to fight MJF for the world title at the next pay-per-view. And Darby wanted to get Jungle Boy to come out and watch his back for the match, which that was basically, I know, I'm not going to do that because they started yelling insults at each other. So that turned that around into something else. All right, so then, after we had that, the next match that came up was Dax Harwood versus Jeff Jarrett. This would have been a good match if Jeff Jarrett was still in his prime. Jeff Jarrett has passed his prime, I'm sorry to say.
Jeff Jarrett is better doing backstage work than anything else. I think my personal opinion, I think the only reason why he signed with AEW is to say that he has wrestled for all these companies.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. But man, I love you, Jeff, but daggone, man, get out of the ring.
Yeah,
get out of the ring.
You gotta know when it's time to say when.
I mean, there's no disrespect in it, you know. It's just get out of the ring, man.
Yeah,
I liked you when you was in Tennessee, and I liked you in WCW. You was going slap nuts and all that stuff.
Yeah, slap nuts.
And I liked it when he hit China in the head with the chair.
Yeah, now
not the chair, but the guitar.
The guitar, yeah. The feud with him and China was great. For some reason, I don't know why, it just resonated.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. All right. Dax Harwood, and Jeff, they put on a decent match. I mean, I'm not going to say it was absolutely terrible because it wasn't terrible.
It was evenly.
It was just an even match. Even matched. You know?
But, the outcome was, of course.
And, of course, Sanjay Dutt came out to interfere, helped Jeff Jarrett win the match. But then, of course, that's probably going to lead into Jarrett and Jay Lethal getting a tag team title shot against FTR, which you put Jay Lethal in the ring with FTR and it's going to be a good match.
Yep.
So I'm kind of excited to see that. I mean, if they would leave out Jeff, it'd be great. I'm sorry, Jeff, but yeah.
No disrespect,
No disrespect, but come on, dude. It's time. It's time. Okay, so then after we have that, Tony Khan announces that the Owen Hart Cup this year will be held in in Canada.
Yep.
Owen Hart's hometown of Canada, or home state. And the finals are going to be held in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Which is where he's from.
Which is where Owen Hart was born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be great. I mean, it's nice to see them trying to do something in memory of Owen Hart like they did last year. Yeah. So it should be a great show. And, I think they said the finals was going to be at the New Japan show that they were combined with or something. Is that what?
I can't remember.
I think that's true. Don't put me on
Forbidden
that.
Door.
Yeah, I think the finals were supposed to be at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which, that'll be great. That'll be awesome.
Well, I mean, he was IWGP.
Oh, yeah.
He
was a junior heavyweight champion in New Japan.
Let him put some New Japan wrestlers in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nope.
Nothing at all.
Nope.
So then after we had that, we had Wardlow, the TNT champion, come out and fight a jobber.
Squash match. Oh, well.
I mean, you got to have them, I understand, but come on. Really? I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they had this match. Of course, Wardlow wins. Of course, it was a squash match. So then Arn Ray Anderson, who is with Wardlow, starts talking to him about you gotta be able to get in there and chew a thumb off and bite a finger off, bite an ear off or something.
Yanking an eyeball out.
Yeah, yank an eyeball out. Whatever you got to do.
Stick a finger in his nose, all that stuff.
Yeah, to hold on to that belt because that's what it's going to take, or so he says. Which Arn's always right. He's Arn Anderson. Of course he's right.
He's the enforcer.
He's the enforcer. The four horsemen. Woo! All right. So, then we have Christian Cage and Luchasaurus make their entrance. I'm hoping they're going to... I ain't hoping. It's going to happen. It's going to be Wardlow versus Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship somewhere coming up down the line.
It's going to be good.
Hopefully Christian stays out of it. I don't want him fighting for that TNT title at all. I would rather see Luchasaurus go for it and hopefully win it. I'd like to see Luchasaurus take a run with it.
Well, if he wins, Christian Cage will get involved and he'll...
Oh, of course. I don't want to see it that way, but...
But you got Arn there, too.
Yeah.
Arn can go up there and pull the Glock on him.
Oh, yeah. Arn will just walk out there and just... And then,
Put him in a spine buster. I don't care.
Hell yeah, spine buster his butt. There you go.
DDT him out there on the floor. That'd be great.
Pow. All right.
Captain Charisma.
So that, they came out, but they didn't say anything. They just kind of stared at him and just walked out, walked back to the back.
Snorted and burped.
Yeah, farted. Whatever. Yeah. But anyways, all right. So then after that, we had a promo in the back with Sammy Guevara. And MJF promoting Sammy's match later on against Darby Allin to determine who was going to fight MJF for the pay-per-view. Now, this is set up to where MJF supposedly wrote a blank check and gave it to Sammy to help him get into the finals, to fight MJF, and then when he does, Sammy's been supposedly paid, to lay down and take the pinfall. And just give the match to MJF so he holds on to the belt. So this has been passed around. They've talked about this. And I mean, you got Sammy Guevara and MJF supposedly buddies. Sammy Guevara gave MJF a vest that had, Sammy's stuff on it. MJF gave Sammy a scarf, that MJF has that he wears. He gave one to MJF,
Don't say it.
I respect MJF for what he does in that ring. He is unbelievable in that ring for his age. To be such a young talent. He's got it. There's no doubt about that. He knows how to work in the ring. He knows how to work the mic. He knows how to pull the hate out of somebody. There's no doubt. He loves it.
I love it.
It ticks me off to no end that he's able to do this. But that's the sign of a good entertainer, a good performer. There's so many people in WWE, especially in NXT. There's so many people in NXT that need to learn how to cut a promo. They need to learn how to sell. They need to learn how to be a heel. And you would figure a company as big as WWE would kind of put that to the forefront.
Shawn Michaels was over there. He was a jerk for years.
But
he was a jerk in real life too.
Yeah,
and he admits it.
So, but MJF is just unbelievable. But I love to hate the guy. I just love to hate the guy. So,
I just laugh.
He laughs it off, and I'm just sitting over there I can't stand it.
You can't take it personal because that's his job, man.
To
piss you off.
And it does.
No end.
He does it.
And then I laugh whenever you get mad.
Yeah. He does it beyond the shadow of a doubt.
MJF is the best right now that wrestling has got.
Yeah.
He don't break kayfabe for nothing. I don't care if he's signing. Why would you have a heel signing autographs?
That's true.
But the people go up there and bring their little AEW figures and be like, "Hey, can you sign my autograph?" And then give me your autograph. And he signs it and throws it.
Yeah.
And then a child can be over there going, "Wah, wah," and he's sitting there going, "Wah, wah." But I almost guarantee you when the cameras go off,
it's a totally different person. Yeah. And that's what it used to be. Undertaker always said, Undertaker through his whole career protected kayfabe.
He never broke it.
He never broke kayfabe.
If you got hurt, he'd be like...
And that's the same thing that MJF does.
Uh-huh.
He does not break, he does not break it.
And once the cameras are off...
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Kayfabe was ruined a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back in 1996... when the Click got in the ring.
Yeah, the farewell.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall leaving to go to WCW.
And that was the end of the
God, and they left WCW to go to WWE. And then Shawn Michaels has to, I gotta hug my brothers. And Triple H is like, let me come in here and grab some asses. Vince didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He was like, sad. Oh, it's entertainment now. They let it out of the bag.
Oh, it was so sad.
Oh, it broke my heart whenever they left. I wish they... I'm not getting into this.
Dynamite. Okay, focus on Dynamite. All right, here we go. So after we have the promo with MJF and Sammy Guevara, it goes into... an announcer in the back, and I don't even remember what he said because I, just looked up and it was over. But anyway, he started to mumble off something, and the BCC attacked him and took him down. And Jon Moxley said that they were going to have scars to leave tonight. So something's going to happen with the BCC.
I like BCC.
Before the show's over. Jon Moxley and Claudio and Bryan Danielson and even Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta has really upped his game since he joined with the BCC. So you can see the effect that Moxley and Danielson and Claudio and all of them has had on Wheeler Yuta. And there's no denying that their effect.
Yuta don't care if he kicks somebody right
now
in the mommy and daddy button.
Yeah, he don't care.
He don't care.
Yambag City, big deal,
It's qualified. He don't care.
He don't care. So we had that. Now, then so the next match we have is Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin. And they've promoted this match because the winner faces MJF at Double or Nothing for the AEW World Heavyweight title. MJF comes out to the broadcast table and does color commentary while this match takes place.
He's eating pickles.
Eating pickles with Taz.
That was fun.
That was funny. To sit there and listen to them smacking on pickles while they're trying to talk. MJF's hilarious. I hate the guy, but that's what I'm supposed to do. He just brings it out of me. But anyway, that was hilarious through that match. But the outcome of that match was Sammy won by cheating. I think it was, so they threw, Sammy's wife came out there, threw Darby his skateboard, and Sammy dropped down to the mat like he got hit by the skateboard, and the ref disqualified Darby, even though he didn't do anything. So then that made Sammy Guevara the winner of the match, so it was going to be MJF versus Sammy at Double or Nothing, which, like I said earlier, Sammy was supposed to lay down for MJF at the match, at the pay-per-view. So then, after all this happened, Jungle Boy came out to help Darby because MJF and Sammy were doing a beatdown. And of course, Jungle Boy comes out to help Darby, and then Darby doesn't want, Jungle Boy's help, and so there's a little argument going on there. And then Tony Khan tells Tony Schiavone to announce the fact that next week on Dynamite there will be a tag team match where it will be MJF and Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy and Darby Allin. If Darby Allin and Jungle Boy win, then they are added to the world title match at Double or Nothing, making it a fatal 4-way. This is inevitable. Okay?
It's coming.
It's going to happen.
All 4 pillars are going to collide.
The so-called 4 pillars of AEW are going to collide at this pay-per-view, and it's going to be nothing short of freaking awesome.
Yep.
Guarantee.
Well, people have been complaining for months. I do Tony Khan has put all the ex-WWE people in there. Right, he's doing it now, buddy. He's going to put all his originals in there.
Yep.
And they're going to rock the house.
And it may end up stealing the show. I mean, there's so many matches going to be at this pay-per-view. I mean, it's going to be hard to pick the best one. I guarantee you that.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that. As long as Jade Cargill's not involved in the match, they're all going to be good.
Bianca Belair.
Which we're going to talk about Jade Cargill here in a minute. All right, so after all that stuff with MJF, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin, and MJF, okay, they go for a commercial break. Then they come back, and we see MJF and Sammy leaving the arena, still ticked off over what they were told by Tony Khan. And it shows MJF going to get in his vehicle. Well, Sammy's going to go with him, and MJF says, "No, the vehicle's full. I don't have room.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you can't come." And the camera pans in and shows the back seat, and there's nobody in there.
So that's going to blow up next week.
So that stuff in that tag match next week, it's going to blow up because of what MJF just did to Sammy. And it's going to be the fatal 4-way like we said.
Mm-hmm.
Mark our words. Mark our words. All right. Then we go to Adam Cole, who comes out
and
gets in the ring. Yes, Adam Cole, baby.
Baby!
Love Adam Cole. I love Adam
Baby!
Cole. Yeah. And he gets in the ring and he calls out Chris Jericho for, the attack that happened last week where he was handcuffed while the Outcasts beat on his wife with a kendo stick and he couldn't do anything to stop it. Girlfriend, wife, same thing.
Don't matter, does it?
No, not really. Not really. So, let's see. Jericho then refuses to come out. He says, I don't want to be around somebody who would sit there and watch their other better half get the crap beat out of him and not lift a finger to help. So he won't come out, but he sends the rest of his JAS club to come out there and attack Adam Cole. So you have
Jake Hager,
and
Stiff Nipples.
Yeah, Stiff Nipples, whatever his name is, I can't remember.
I can't remember that.
He's always talking about his nipples, so you just have to watch it. Yeah, 2.0. There you go, 2.0. They come down to the ring. So it's 3-on-1 and
Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia. So there's 4-on-1. They're beating the crap out of Adam Cole, which then here comes Bandito and
Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, who come down to try to help out. Well, they're still outnumbered by one person. So then the next thing you know, this music hits and the video comes up on the Titantron, and it's none other than Roderick Strong from former NXT, WWE, whatever you want to call it. He runs down to the ring, jumps in, and helps Adam Cole. And that was freaking awesome. I have always wanted Roderick Strong to go to AEW because WWE/NXT were ruining his career.
Yep.
Seriously.
When I heard End of a Heartache last night, I went, ooh, wee. Here he comes. Boom.
I heard that music hit, and I was like, oh my God. And I seen who it was, and I was like, yes, it's Roderick Strong. And he came running down there and helped clean out the house, man.
That's what I say. AEW's got surprises. They always have surprises. I don't care about when I heard that End of a Heartache, I said, man, I said, ooh, I know who it is now.
For months and months and months, they have not said a word on WWE about Roderick Strong. Nothing.
Oh, they said that he was injured. He was
he was out
injured.
or whatever. I had no clue that his contract was even up or anything like that. Nobody had said a word. And then all of a sudden, here he comes,
boom,
just pops out on AEW, and I'm like, yes. So what I'm thinking, I could be wrong. Don't quote me wrong, but don't quote me on it. But what we're talking about is, what we were discussing is that he may have bought out the rest of his contract so he can go ahead and leave.
And go with his friends.
And go with his friends in AEW. Now, if that's the case, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan helped him out, helped him do that.
Pretty good.
But anyways, he's there. It's going to be awesome. I love Roderick Strong in AEW. That's great. It's wonderful.
It's going to be good.
Excited.
It's going to be real good.
So then after we do that, okay, then we have a segment in the back with Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall TV, whatever you want to call QTV,
Marshall,
whatever you want to call it. And he demands that QT find a way to get him a TNT title shot against Wardlow to get his title back. And that was the end of that. That was all it was.
Poor old Aaron Solo, man.
Aaron Solo had a neck brace on because he got power bombed like the week last week or the week before that. Through a table.
That was just a bad.
Yeah, that was a
bad.
Yeah.
Bad bump.
Terrible.
He went through one and his head hit the back of that one.
And
I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
He went through one, the back of his head just caught the corner of the other table, and I mean, it looked horrific.
I think he was knocked silly.
Oh, I'd say he was. There was no doubt. I mean, you could see it on his face. He had no clue where the world he was at.
I think he might have poo-pooed himself a little bit. I don't know.
You blame him?
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all.
Poo all over myself too. Like, I'm suing you, man.
All right. So then, after we do that, then we have Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie for the TBS Women's Championship. I have wanted Valkyrie to come in, or somebody come in and just whip up on Jade Cargill. I am so sick of Jade Cargill with this title. 56-0. She is 56 wins and no losses. And for what reason, I have no idea. She can't sell. She can't wrestle. She's a one-trick pony. She's green. She's greener than grass.
She's greener than Bianca Belair.
She's greener than Bianca Belair.
Belair's got more talent than she does.
Yeah. No doubt. I don't know why they want her to hold on to this title, but for some reason they do.
In my opinion, I think this. If she loses that belt, she's held that belt so long because of who or what she is. And that's no disrespect.
Right.
But once she loses that belt, it's what we going to do with her.
Yeah.
Well, I say send her to WWE.
I mean, look at okay, she's undefeated. She's 56-0. They tried this stuff before in WCW with Goldberg as a one-loss record.
Streaks were meant to be broken.
And it ruined Goldberg. Inevitably, it did ruin Goldberg.
Yeah, the person who pinned him.
Yeah. So, doing that here with Jade, it's going to ruin her. Even though she's not ready for a career like that, for a win streak like that, or anything like that, I don't think. It's going to ruin her before she's even in the business.
I think the way how Ty come back and started beating on people.
Yeah.
I think she'll get her rematch. I'd say probably at this next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Or maybe at a Dynamite or a Rampage.
Yeah.
And Ty's going to get that belt.
Yeah.
Because she's done with through everybody.
Yeah.
Except for Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter. Yeah, we were discussing a few of them that she hadn't exactly wrestled yet. And there was 2 or 3 that she hadn't even.
I don't understand. Let her lose that TBS championship and have her go after the world heavy, the women's championship.
The women's world title, yes. Exactly.
And if she's meant to, let her go. If not, do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. Yeah. But anyhow, Ty Valkyrie could not use her finisher because it's the same move as Jade Cargill's. So Mark Sterling, who's allegedly a lawyer, has drawn up papers saying that Valkyrie could not use her finisher, the Valhalla, in this match. She had to use something else. Because if she used that move, she would be disqualified. Valkyrie went for the move a couple of times during the match, but stopped herself. Okay, the second time she did go for it was when Jade Cargill actually rolled her up and got the pinfall.
And it was sloppy.
It was sloppy. But anyways, Jade Cargill pulled it out. Like I said, she's 56-0 and doesn't deserve to be 56-0 and doesn't deserve to be the TBS champion, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. All right. So
let's go to WWE.
After we have that, then we have a promo in the back with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. They're plotting revenge on the Outcasts for the kendo stick beatdown that Britt Baker received last week from the Outcast and, all that stuff with Jericho that I mentioned earlier. Then we go to Bryan Danielson, who comes out to the broadcast table. Then they go for a commercial break, and then when they come back, they have the main event, which is Kenny Omega and Takeshita versus the Butcher and the Blade in a tag match. This was a good match. It really was a good match. Butcher and the Blade are a great tag team. They get crapped on a lot, but
they can go in there and they can hold their own.
They can go in there and they can hold their own. They can put on a good match with just about anybody you want to put them in there with, And this is the first time that on AEW, anyways, that Omega and Takeshita have teamed up. They gelled pretty well. They gelled pretty good throughout the match. And so then I think Kenny Omega and Takeshita actually pulled out the win, won the match. Yeah. Then the BCC came out. And, of course, they had their little screwdriver, and they were going to cut open Kenny Omega with that screwdriver. And then Takeshita comes in and stops all that, breaks that up. And then Kenny Omega gets the screwdriver and is going to do some carving on Jon Moxley. So then Bryan Danielson comes running down to the ring and talks to Takeshita, and he gets in there, and he gets in between Adam Cole and Jon Moxley and tries to stop that. So then they're like, okay, so then Claudio and Wheeler Yuta and the BCC, they take over on the beatdown, and then Takeshita is the one that gets cut open with the screwdriver. This is all coming down to this one big battle, and I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
I like how Moxley and them has just turned.
Oh, yeah. They have turned right around and
they run roughshod through there for
a
bit. Man, I hope the BCC does win. I really do. I hope they win.
Yeah.
Because it's different now,
Yeah.
They're different. And I like the violence.
Yeah, I honestly think what's going to happen is you're going to have, and we talked about it. We talked about it. It's going to be the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Takeshita versus the BCC. Either at a pay-per-view or it's going to be a blood and guts cage match. It's going to be something.
Because I don't know what's happened to Hangman Page. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, now if he comes back in, then it would probably have to be a blood and guts type cage match. Because that's 5-on-5. So yeah, it has to be something like that. But that whatever it is, it's going to be freaking awesome when it happens. I guarantee you that.
But somebody's going to have to come in for the BCC. Because there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, so they'll have to add a member or something. or get somebody to, just team up with them for the one night or whatever. But they'll work all that stuff out. We don't need to worry about that. They'll work it all out for us. It'll be great. It'll be great. This ain't WWE. They do, the AEW does stuff that makes sense, okay? Yeah. This is the reason why I like watching AEW so much better than WWE.
And a lot of people say, what's the difference between sports entertainment and pro wrestling? Watch the shows.
Yeah. You'll see the difference. That's all there
is to it.
You'll see a big difference if you watch WWE and then you turn around and you watch AEW. They are exact opposites.
WWE is sports entertainment all the way because they talk too long, have too many commercials, have 3-minute matches, 5-minute. They're lucky if they even string out a match that's like 10 minutes long. Yeah, goes through two commercial breaks.
Right. That does not happen very often at all.
And
really
then
doesn't.
AEW, you open up with wrestling and you end with wrestling. Mm-hmm. You have them little segments in between that's like 3 or 4 minutes long, and it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the longest promo they have would be MJF or somebody that can talk. They can talk.
And it's usually, excuse me. It's usually not even 15 minutes. I mean, that 15 minutes is a ridiculous amount of time to have for a promo. Ridiculous. There's no need for it.
I don't think the longest one they've had, I think so far, is like a 10-minute.
Yeah, and I think that was the one where him and Jericho was singing that song or whatever.
Yeah.
Back when they,
Because I know Regal went over whenever he debuted, and then he apologized for it.
Right.
And they were like, we don't care.
But yeah, if you don't believe us, like I said, watch WWE, then turn around and watch an episode of AEW, and you tell me if you don't see differences.
Yeah.
Big differences.
You can see violence in AEW.
That's a lot of the problem because WWE's went with that PG era stuff.
Well, most of the... WWE has went more or less to a younger audience.
Right. Yeah.
From 17 to 24.
Yeah.
Something like that. But the wrestling fans that we are, we're the demographic. And it's watched it all of our lives.
Right.
And we want to see blood. We want to see guts.
Yeah.
We want to see men beating the out of each other.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. But like I said, AEW is just better.
Women scratching their eyeballs out and pulling their hair and calling each other witches.
Yeah. The good stuff.
Now, WWE used to have those bra and panties matches back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I'm not knocking on those.
I'm not knocking on those. But, that's when we were young.
That's when we were younger. We were okay. All right, so, like I said, if you want to see a difference, just watch both shows, and you'll see a difference. Okay, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to say thank you guys for watching, and those of you that are, you can comment on the videos now. I finally figured that out. We appreciate all the comments that we have gotten. We appreciate all the likes, all the people that's watched the videos. We really appreciate that. So keep it coming, and we'll keep the content coming as much as we can. And thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good evening, and we'll see you in the next one.